Hey, this is Commander Bacon and Shelly with His Way Homestead, and tonight we're going to boil some quail eggs. So let's take a look. All right, we've been collecting quail eggs for a while now, and so this is like an Instant Pot strainer.
Yeah.
So what we do is we load it up in that because it makes it easy to put all the eggs in boiling water at one time. I don't know how many eggs we have there. Here's our collection from today of duck eggs and chicken eggs and quail eggs. I think we're going to do more.
No, this is good for the stuff.
All right, so we're just going to do this and see. It's like 3 layers deep. We're going to take it over here and we're going to put it in the boiling water.
Now the water's simmering.
Sounds like someone might pop it. Oop.
Yeah.
Like popcorn. So maybe some of the the shells are broken, but it's okay. You know, we'll deal with that when we peel them. And typically we'll put them in here and we'll leave them in there for like 8 minutes. I know some people probably have their favorite times, but 8 minutes seems to work good for us. So we noticed that the water level was a little too low, so we added some hot water to it. So that'll change the temperature of the water a little bit, but it'll be okay. It's just hard boiling eggs. It's nothing critical about it.
But also, whenever you get the water level up, you can see if any of your eggs are floating, like this guy. He obviously has a problem, so we do not want him in there cooking with the rest of them. So any of them that float to the top, you need to take out and throw away.
Okay, so now they've been in there 8 minutes, and what we're going to do, we're going to take them straight from the hot water and put them in an ice bath. This is like going from a sauna out to a polar dip.
We're going to have to dump them.
And that'll stop the cooking process so they won't get overcooked. And there we go. They'll sit in there and cool off, and then it'll be easier to peel them too. The eggs will kind of shrink away from the shell a little bit, give you a little space to be able to peel them. Quail eggs are not the easiest thing in the world to peel, but if you do it right, it's not too bad. All right, we're going to show peeling some of these. There is a little bit of a technique to it. I don't know, y'all might have your own way of doing it. We have our way of doing it. Comment below, let us know how you do it, if it's the same as what we do or not. So we'll break up the shell, and then up at the large end, I'll pinch it really hard and get to that membrane, and then you can just peel the membrane with the shell. It's not the easiest thing, and there's almost like 2 membranes in here. It's kind of tough sometimes. Sometimes I keep a little bowl of water to keep the egg wet while I'm peeling it, and that seems to work pretty good. You can see this is kind of, it's like dry. And my wife is much faster sometimes. It just depends on the egg. So you can see there's a little egg residue, and what we'll do is we'll put it in a bowl of water and wash it off really good. So let's
And I just broke this one. Sometimes the yolk is right at the side, and you really can't hardly even peel the egg around it without breaking it. I don't know if you can see it on this one. Here's the air sac, and there's the yolk. This one, it's got a really big air pocket on the bottom, but still that yolk is just right close to the edge. Makes it really difficult to keep it intact. But we can still peel around it, and we can still use it as is.
We're gonna play around with the time-lapse video and see what that looks like, peeling eggs. So we got a bunch of eggs to peel. Don't want to bore you with it, but here we go. Okay, so you can see some of them peeled really well. We've got a lot of them with little pieces of shell. See stuff like this, the white just kind of tore apart. So when we're gonna pickle some of these and sell them. So what we'll end up doing is picking out the best ones for the ones that we'll sell. The others we'll keep them for salad or pickle them for our use, and because they're just not pretty. So.
And we have this nice big old pile of shells here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let these dry really well, and then I'm going to put them in the food processor and grind them up, and then we can feed these back to our chickens, and this adds calcium into their diet.
Which in turn helps them build stronger shells for eggs that they lay. So it all works together.
So here are our Quail eggshells. I put them in the dehydrator last night to dry them out really well. You can see they're just gonna crumble. So I'm gonna gather them, put them in a food processor and crush them up. And I'll show you that in just a minute. All right, now I've got my eggshells in my food processor. I am not gonna make y'all listen to the sound of the food processor, so I'll show you the end result. All right, let me see if I can zoom in and show you what I've got here. Those are still pretty big pieces, and I've been trying to blend these for a little bit now. So this is, like I said, this is my food processor, so I think I'm gonna switch over to my blender and see if we can get better results. I've got it in the blender now. Hopefully you can see how big those pieces are. But I think the blender is going to pulverize this the way I want it to. All right, so it looks like my blender is on fire, but it's not. That's all the smoke, and actually it's not smoke, it's dust from pulverizing the eggshells. And there's still, it's not dust, but it's definitely small enough that we can manage now. So this, we can feed it back to our chickens or our quail or any of our fowl out there, and it will help them strengthen their eggs. And also, once we have tomatoes, you can use this to boost calcium so you don't have blossom end rot. And there's just all kind of really good uses for eggshells. So don't throw these away. Try to use these. It saves you money. You don't have to go buy something else to add to your poultry or add to your garden. This is something you already have. If you eat eggs at all, you can collect them during the week. You don't have to put them in a dehydrator like I did. You can just dry them naturally, let them sit on a paper towel. You can put them in an oven that's on really, really low and let them dry out that way. But these are things you can use around your house and save some money, build your soil, help your animals, and one less thing that we're wasting.
Okay, so we boiled our quail eggs, and what we didn't show you was we cooked up some pickling spices, some Cajun pickling spices, so that we could pickle these quail eggs. Doesn't that look good? We couldn't show you our special secret recipe. Now, we just Google it like everybody does and find a recipe, play with it, see how you like it. If it's something that you like, then do it again. If not, play around with it and try to figure out your own little concoction. So that's all we got for tonight. And don't forget, his way is the best way. See ya.